So we just got some new internal documentation from the FBI that shows this agency is labeling terms like based or red-pilled, very innocuous, commonplace, everyday internet slang, as an indication of violent extremism. They say these words have ties to incels and racists online. Now, I co-founded a company called Base Politics, so I feel entitled to speak on this. This is the second time in literally a year we've seen the FBI try to label everyday Americans who are participating in their political system as dangerous extremists. Remember last year they tried to say that parents who showed up to lobby at the school boards of their own children were violent extremists and potentially domestic terrorists. And they have a very sordid history long before that. This agency has done everything from wrongfully convict people to try to get Martin Luther King Jr. to kill himself. So who's the violent extremist? Who's the domestic terrorist? I think it's the FBI. Anyways, while they try to claim these terms have ties to these ridiculous French groups, that's easily disproven. Pause to read here, but I document the origins of the word base, and it actually just means being upfront, true to oneself, not politically correct. While it's true some fringe alt-right groups will try to use the term base, it's much more widely in use than that, and those people are like nobodies. Nobody cares what they're saying online. They're like in their mom's basements. Red pilled is similarly mundane. It comes from the movie The Matrix, and it just means like becoming aware of unpopular truths. But none of this is to downplay the very overt threat from the FBI here, who is clearly trying to label half the country as extremist and dangerous people when it suits them. In reality, most people who use these terms are typically talking about values that include things like limiting the government, individual liberty, and free market capitalism. But you know what? Those ideas actually are extreme in the grand scheme of things. Throughout history and even throughout most of the world today, they are rarely in play. When our founders said all men are created equal, that shook the foundations of time. When we said you were entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that threatened power structures that have been entrenched for centuries. Our founders risked their life, liberty, and reputations, as they said, to insist on a new way of structuring a society. That is extreme. And people who believe what I believe continue to assert that individuals are better at determining their futures than the government. We say people should be free to live as they want to so long as they're not hurting people or their property. That's extreme still. We think that people should have power over the government, not the other way around. Extreme. So while we condemn violence, if you want to label us extremists, we'll take it because we are extremely opposed to the horrific acts governments have perpetrated against mankind. Radicals, revolutionaries, extremists in the pursuit of liberty are needed more now than ever. And as for me and my company, we will continue to go up to bat against heinous agencies like the FBI. They should be afraid of us because our ideas are the winning ideas and the moral arc of history is on our side. So stay based and let's take these people down.